Authentic Experts with Kara James, the show that takes you around the world to share interviews with some of the most successful and relevant people on the planet. Hear their stories and get the most important business lessons they have learned on their road to success, and get exclusive advice on how to implement their success into your life and business. Authentic Experts with Kara James is brought to you by the Strategic Advisor Board and your host, Kara.
Hello, everyone. Kara here from Authentic Experts, and I'm super excited to introduce you to my guest today. She has so much to offer, and we're going to dig right in. I'm going to let Megs introduce herself and get going. This is Megs Bassili, so take it away, Megs.
Thanks, Kara. Hi, everybody. Yes, I'm Megs Bassili, and I am a business psychic. So this is going to become, I can feel it in my bones, and spirit have told me that having a business psychic is going to be one of the new ways of doing business. So you've got your VA, you've got your marketing expert, and you have your psychic. So this is the kind of thing more entrepreneurs are tapping into their spiritual journey throughout. Because as you know, nothing teaches you about yourself more than becoming an entrepreneur and starting a business. That really makes you awake to a lot of things. And so more and more people are waking up to the fact that spirit and soul can actually lead you in business. And it creates an authenticity within yourself as well, of tapping into your higher self, your spirit team, like your ancestors and things like that as well. And it just brings you different insight from a different realm, really. So I've been able to channel courses for people. I've been able to channel through readings a complete business model for people that has the potential to make them thousands of dollars, or maybe even millions, depending on, because that's where our humanness takes over. And if you have the drive and the determination, these could be multi-million-dollar ideas. So it's very powerful stuff. And it kind of, having a regular reading, it helps keep you on track of your goals and your paths, because us humans, we do tend to stray from the path, even though we know we should be going in one direction. Our ego starts to play, and our monkey mind starts to play, and our maybe I'm not good enough, or maybe this would be easier. Just because it's easier doesn't mean that it's better. You know, different things like that. So keeping you on track.
Love that. Oh my gosh. This is really fascinating. So when you say your spiritual team, or okay, let's back up. Can you give me an example? Give me just a little tidbit, a little smidgen of a coaching call with a client, as far as what you're pulling out, or what you are, just getting more specific, or what you're seeing, or even better, you can use me. Look at me trying to
here we go.
And get me. No, okay. But I would love to it's so cool.
It is really cool. I mean, I love it, and it's only going to be a matter of time before it really catches on. And I know my coaches have become clients of mine because of what I do. So every single person, we all have our ancestors. As you know, like that's nothing new. We all have our guides. So these guides they're spirits that kind of attach themselves to us. They've had a human experience before, so they can guide us through the human existence to a degree, right? We have our higher self, which is part of our soul. And that part of us knows what's happening in the future. So if you keep going down this trajectory, this is what's going to occur for you. If you sway the path, then a new future will be created for you, because we've all got infinite, like we're only one decision away from creating a completely different future, right? So she knows, or he, depending on who I'm talking to, our higher self knows this. If you keep going along this path, this is what's possible for you. Or if you keep going along the path, we kind of want you to sway a little bit and go down this path because it would be better overall. And then we have our angels. And our angels have never had a human experience before. They just attach themselves to us. So sometimes we'll get a thought in our head and it's just completely unrealistic. It has nothing to do with anything at the moment. And you're like, where the hell did that come from? That's probably your angel because they haven't had a human experience before. So they don't really know what the hell's going on. They just go, oh yes, and why can't you just start a multi-million-dollar business? Why do you have to build a multi-million-dollar business? And like, because humans can't just go from here to here like angels can. We've got human, I hate the word limitations, but we are in a 3D world. They're over in,
Yeah.
So it's the spirit team is all of that combined together. So what I specifically do is I feel into the path and then I'll get this amazing idea into my head, and every single time I do it, the client's like, oh my God, yes, why didn't I think of that? And it's like, well, because you hired me to think of it. You hired me to come up with it. It wasn't. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's really, really cool. It's actually really
it is cool. I know. Now you got me really thinking here. I'm almost like, okay, well, wait a minute. So is it more or less? This is really interesting to me. Very fascinating. And I am going to look into this deeper once we're off the call and see also what you have to offer. But is it in the day-to-day that you're hearing the little things or thinking about it or just getting a crazy thought that we're not realizing? Is that what you're saying? And just all the different, the paths are always, or the guides are always with us, correct? And they're, is it one can be pulling you, for example, maybe my angel's talking to me a lot more than the ancestors, or is it like that? And how would you pick up on that, I guess? And then, how do you see that?
Okay, so for me, it comes through as a collective.
Okay.
So they're all like, I like to think of it or visualize that they've all had their meeting. They've all discussed what needs to come through for you.
Okay.
And then it all just comes and it flows through from all of them as a collective.
Oh, okay.
So sometimes I'll say guides, and that would be like your guides are actually speaking to me. Sometimes I'll say, oh, your angels want you to know, and then that would be it, like from them. I like to think of them as coming through as a collective because they all want what's best for us. There's no ill will whatsoever. The ill will does not exist.
Okay, that was my next question.
So
is this all?
Yeah. So I do believe, there are probably demons around and things like that. I just consciously choose not to tap into them, so I don't feel them.
Good.
So people that are like, oh, I'm really worried that a demon's going to come through, it's all about intention. So my intention and my choice is to not feel that because I don't want anything to do with that.
Yeah.
Like
right.
I'm all, I do believe in our shadow work and things like that. But at the end of the day, you're not coming to me for shadow work. You're coming to me to get valuable insight into your business and how to grow. And sometimes that's shifts that we have to do personally. So our worthiness, our mindset and things like that have to play a role, because I could give you a multi-million-dollar idea, but if you don't feel worthy of receiving it, you're not going to do anything with it.
Right.
So there's that big factor into it as well. But we all have the ability to do it. And you're probably doing it, like women call it intuition, men call it gut instinct. So we all have the ability to do it. So if you're feeling like, okay, so when you wanted to start this podcast, right, you were thinking about it for a while. You're like, oh, you know what? I really think I want to do a podcast. I really feel like it's going to benefit a lot of people. and then you created the 3D version of it, and that's why we're talking here today. Mm-hmm. So that niggle, Aussies call it niggles, I don't know what you guys call it. I love that little niggle of, maybe a podcast could be cool. I reckon I could do a podcast. I reckon a podcast is a great idea. That's them talking to you going, guess what? You should start a podcast. So, you know, you trusted that niggle, you trusted that gut instinct or that intuition, and now here you are today talking to me.
Okay. I like this version of it. I met with someone just earlier today. We were talking about what your focus is and a little bit of the law of attraction type thing, or just how the mind really, and here you are in a different version of it. It's just incredible. It's fascinating. And
and it makes me feel good too when I'm like channeling and because our angels and our spirit team, they just love us so much. It's unconditional love. They don't care that you had a breakdown last week. They don't care that you're hustling instead of allowing. They don't care about any of that kind of stuff. They don't care about what you've done in the past. As long as from this moment forward, you're open to accepting it. And then from this moment forward, you're open. And then from this moment, you're just bettering yourself. Their love for you is unconditional. And I feel that when I'm channeling. I feel their love for you. And it makes me love you. Oh, wow. And so it's just a really nice feeling to be able to tap into that love and that connection. Even though you don't feel it, I feel it. And that's why, there is a part of me that is channeling right now. And that's why I laugh, because I'm like, oh, this is a nice feeling. This feels good. So I laugh. And then people are like, oh, you laugh a lot. I'm like, because it just feels really good. Oh, the love that, I can feel your... talking to you, Cara, I can feel your spirit team loving you through me. And it's I don't know. It's a good feeling. I like it.
Yes. Well, no, again, get the chills. I think I need to rename my podcast. I keep saying, but the guests that I have are just so incredible. And so the stories are so fascinating and real and, well, again, authentic. But just, it always goes deeper than I think it's going to go. And I always end up getting the chills at one point or another, and I just got to chill. I love, that makes me feel warm and fuzzy too, that you're...
Yeah. So imagine
my team is loving me. Wonderful.
Yeah, 100%. And you feel those chills all the time, and it feels good. And I do feel like that is part of the law of attraction, right? The more that we can feel those chills and the more that we can follow our gut and our intuition, the more likely we are to succeed, because it feels good. Yeah. It feels good to receive this information. So, it's helping both of us. And, because we're all a reflection of each other. So what I see in you is within me, and what you see within me is within you. And so this is all just going to help the collective raise the vibrations of the entire world. It has that strength to it. It's pretty cool.
Right. Yes. The vibrations. That's what I was thinking of earlier without saying the word, but yes, the vibration, the focus, the energy, the universe, all positive stuff. Yeah. So Megs, tell us about your next program. We were talking a little bit about that before we went on air, and I would love to have you share that with everybody.
Yeah, so I've got a program that is soul integration. So it is, we first tap in, we have a one-on-one talk for half an hour, and I will be tapping into your purpose, why you're here, what you've got to offer, and then getting in the mindset to be able to offer it without second-guessing yourself and completely fully integrating it within your life and your body and within your spirit, your soul, all aspects of them go together to be able to create. And when we're in creation mode and teaching mode, it's just tapping into universal energy. And the more that you can do that, the easier it's going to be for you to manifest. But you really should be in the right mindset to be able to do it, because like I said earlier, you know, I could give you a multi-million-dollar idea, but if you don't feel worthy of multi-millions of dollars, it's just going to sit on the shelf. And then after a while, if you don't do anything with that idea, they're going to give it to someone else. The universe will give it to someone else. That's why sometimes you see, you know, you've got this idea and then you shelve it, and then within 6 months, someone else is coming up with the idea, and you're like, damn it, that was mine. Yeah. I came up with that, or that was my idea. Yeah, they gave it to you and you did nothing with it, so they've given it to somebody else.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
So that's why you see like, oh damn it, I should have had. Yeah. If you shelve the idea and say, I'm definitely going to do that, do not give it to anybody else. I'm a little bit like, I need to focus on this first, because like I said, angels, they don't have human experiences, so they're giving you these ideas at the really not the greatest of time. Like, I've really just got to focus on the growth part of my business first, and then I can introduce that. So they won't give it to somebody else. The universe won't give it to anybody else. Oh my goodness. That's why, you know, you might be sitting on an idea for 6 months before you actually do anything with it, but nobody's come up with that idea in the meantime. Whereas if you shelve it and have this, oh, I don't feel worthy of that, or I don't know if I'm capable of doing that, then yeah, a couple of months later, if you don't get your acting to gear, they'll just give it to someone else.
Wow. You've really put into words what I'm sure a lot of people have, you know, just have had these little thoughts, or, you know, it's still a little kind of woo-woo or out there or unsure. And what does this exactly mean? But I love that you just put it into layman's terms and gave it a visual. And, you know, seriously, I love that.
Yeah,
and I'm sure a lot of listeners are resonating with this, like, oh my gosh, of course this makes sense. Right?
Yeah, I do that. That's happened to me. I mean, it's happened to me.
Yeah.
I've come up with so many ideas and I'm like, oh, that's so great. Yeah, I want to do it. I really, really want to do it. I just don't feel capable right now. And then within 3 months, somebody else has gone, oh, hey, I've just come up with this idea, and they're running with it. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay. I dragged my feet. I shouldn't have. That's okay. They love me anyway. They'll give me another idea. It's not the end of the world. Something new will come along, and
live and learn, right?
That moment too.
Yeah. Act immediately if you love the idea, right? So
yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, I can't wait to hear about your program. So where can everybody find you? Where's the best place?
So on Facebook.
Okay, great.
Facebook is the way to go. I do have a business page called Soul Driven Entrepreneurs.
Okay.
So that's my business page, and my profile is just Megs Bassili.
Yep.
But yeah, I would love to book a discovery call, or I'm doing like little free 15-minute readings at the moment, just so that you can get a taste of what it's like to go in more depth, and then we can book a discovery call from there, or we can just get straight into it, whatever. Whatever you're wanting to do. I do find that from the 15-minute reading and people get a taste of it, they're like, okay, so now what do I do now? How do I work with you further? So
perfect. Yeah. Great. Excellent. Well, I'm sure you will be getting a lot of calls from this. So
yeah, I hope so.
Wonderful. Yeah, good. So my last question is, and I ask everybody this, what is a book or documentary that you would recommend to the audience? What's something that you really thought was terrific?
So anything Brian Tracy. I love Brian Tracy, but he's got a book that's called $1 Million Habits.
Okay.
And I honestly read the first 3 pages of that and got completely inspired. And the thing that really stood out to me through that was the locus of control. A lot of people have external locus of control, and that's why we blame the universe, or we blame the economy, or we blame, social media, my algorithm. We're blaming everything, but really the control is within ourselves, and we have the ability to control the fact that one of the reasons the algorithm isn't working for you is because you're not active enough.
Yeah.
You know, the universe isn't providing for you because you're not feeling worthy enough. So that's something you have to work on for yourself. So it's all, that was the part that stood out to me the most. But yeah, very inspiring book.
Great. I jotted it down, and this will be another one added to my list today, ordered on Amazon. So, I love it. I feel like this is even just mostly for me. Like, what is the book that you recommend? And then I'm the one ordering them 5 minutes later. So, you know.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about the collective, right? So, like I said before, what I see in you is what is in with me. So if you're needing this information, there's thousands of other people that are needing the same information as what you are. So we're all just a reflection of each other. And that's what I love about, you know, you asking questions, is that what you want to know, other people want to know as well. So
sure, yeah. Well, and I may have missed, so please, I mean, now if you want to fill in anything I should have asked that I didn't, is there, okay.
No, you're done.
I want to give you the floor and good, okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's flowed really well, and
good.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Megs. Thanks for joining in today. I'd love to have you back again. So we'll reach out soon, stay in touch, and I will talk with you soon.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Thank you, Cara. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening to Authentic Experts with Cara James. Please leave your feedback and visit strategicadvisorboard.com to get the latest and greatest business advisement on the planet. Follow us on social media for updates, and we'll see you on the next episode.